The Beast is back. I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Beast Mode. Marshawn Lynch still churning out big games like he did a week ago, as it'll be the Denver Broncos as they get set to square off against the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. We'll leave him shy of the 20-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
We saw something last week you don't see very often. Team loses, but the quarterback, the trigger man, offensive player of the week in the AFC. That's pretty impressive.
You rarely see that. Of course, don't worry, folks. He said the obligatory, I would have traded that for a victory any day of the week.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but still, he must have played awfully well to win it when his team lost.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Shotgun now for Carr. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And that's complete to LaFleur. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Keenan going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Keenan. being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Keenum now on the keeper, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Case Keenum scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Carr. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. Cook able to escape. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and that'll bring up second down.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there. Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Lee Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation. As a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective, is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves. Because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but if you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now he'll let it go deep right. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. I think it's intercepted.
Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Roberts has it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And got his man complete. He's at the 40, past the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 91 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Oh, I'm impressed.
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jordy Nelson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
Keenum on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Keenum here again. Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence.
It's out, it's loose. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, down.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Off the play fake, Keenum letting one go deep for the ends. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down.
Get set. Monday, down. Blue 80.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Cook has it, left side. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Carr now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. The final shot here before half for Carr. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And he floats one there, incomplete. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start out west at the StubHub Center in Carson, where you see the final score there. Joe Flacco, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head up the Pacific Coast to Seattle. Check on the Seahawks at home at CenturyLink Field. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Russell Wilson, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's the new signee, Case Keenum, leading the way. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. On the return, it's McKenzie. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now Case Keenum in the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had the stool about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Keenum now on second down. Dancing to his left. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started. And in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now it's Keenum here off the bootleg. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Carr now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now,
now, Carr again. Roberts got it. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense.
And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Keenum finding Sanders for a big one. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Keenum to throw on second down. Flush to his right. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
To throw, it's Keenum. Buying time to his left. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
So he splits the uprights, and it has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good. Yeah,
just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've...
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Shaquille Barrett in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
On third down, Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Get down, get down.
From the gun, it's Carr. He'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Again, it's Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point up and through. Back now in the East Bay. For the 4th quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Holding, offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Harris now to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why?
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Carr over the middle, complete. That's Roberts. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw his car, and he will find his man on the outside. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup.
And he's got his tight end, Cook, in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
On the return, it's McKenzie. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Jesus, second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Cliff Averill in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some.
And he's going to go down again. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Keenum got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. A 2nd down carry for Booker. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. And now it's 3rd down and inches.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Keenum wants to throw it. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on. And as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sanders. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Booker on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And they will take a knee here. Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Let's go, let's go. We got three, fellas.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And McManus able to put it through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big, better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Down, 180.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Face mask. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalty.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running.
To his knee goes Keenum, and that should be the ball game. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Broncos, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.